Well, now, here with you, you have 500,000 Kenyan shillings that you've tried as much as you can to save. Okay? Now, this money you're caught in between. Here there is a gig. I can actually pay a commission of around 200 or 300,000 or 350,000. I can be taken to Dubai for a job, or the Gulf countries like so the Dubai, Qatars and what have you. And the salary that I'm being promised out of that, what I'm going to pay for 350,000, it is actually 55,000 per month. Okay. Now, should I proceed with paying this commission for me to be taken to Dubai or the Gulf country? Or should I just stay back at home and start my own business with this amount of money? Which one is the best option? Guess what? This is good, Joseph. And I said I'll be embarking on solving actual problems. Instead of giving the theories, I pick actual problems. And these are challenges that are being presented by my clients. They call me, they ask me that. And by the way, if you're out there and you'd like to have my services in any way, my number is always on the description of this specific video. You can grab it, shoot me a call, let's talk business. Even if you are outside country already, you'd like to invest, you don't know, you're caught in between, what should I invest on? Pick that number, shoot me a call, we can have a discussion for a cup of coffee's price. But anyway, here we are. If you're watching me for the first time, this is Good Joseph. That's all I want to talk about. Go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. You know why? Because I upload a video every day, so you never miss a piece of it. Go ahead and like that video, hit that like button, and make sure that you comment on the comment section. Now, you have this 500,000. You don't know, should I start the business from where I am right now? Or should I go ahead and pay this commission and fly out of the country, go get a grid pasture out there and earn that 55,000? So at the end of this video, I'm going to give you my thought, but I'm going to dissect these two situations bit by bit. Okay? The budget you have with you is 500K. Option A that you have is you take 350,000 of this, pay an agent. By the way, if you're watching this from the Western countries, you may not understand what I'm talking about. From Kenya, we have agents who take people outside the country, and you actually pay them this amount of money. They look for an opportunity outside there. This is so much common, especially for the people who are going for the Gulf countries, you know, and the Gulf countries, of course, I'm informed, they are classified into several. There are areas like, what do you call the Qatar, the Bahrain, the Dubai, and what have you. Those seem to be a bit friendly compared to, let me not go to that direction. But for those who are already there, they know what I'm talking about, okay? Now, you pay this amount of money, okay, to be taken to that particular place. And the promised salary out of this is 55,000 Kenyan shillings, 55,000 Kenyan shillings per month. That is an equivalent of around $500. This is $500. This amount of money is equivalent to around $3,200 or something of sort. You pay that commission, you earn that amount of money. So the question is, okay, let's dissect this. Let's say you go with option one. Option one, you pay that amount of money. The remaining 150,000, you go with it there for the, you know, sustainabilities and what have you before you settle up in that particular country and what have you. So with that case regard, then you're being in a situation whereby at least you won't struggle a lot until now you understand how that particular area functions. Now, we go ahead and ask ourselves, first of all, there are issues of trust here. First of all, there are issues of trust. Those are the things that you have to wrestle with from the word go. If I surrender this 350,000, how assured am I that indeed I'm going to get this job? I'm assuming you're dealing with an agent who is actually a legit and has actually been known. They are regulated. Here in Kenya, they must have the license for them to offer these services, okay? So assuming that you're dealing with a registered agent whom you know and truly can take you to those places if you commit that amount of money. Let's say, boom, it happens to be you're taken to that particular place. You're earning 55,000 Kenyan shillings. Let's say this money was your money. Some people do borrow. Assuming that you never borrowed, that's the money that you have, okay? Now, you go to that particular place. Obviously, you can tell how long it will take you to recoup back the money that you used. But before you start celebrating, you have to ask yourself, probably you are going to that particular place, you have responsibilities back at home. And that money that you're getting, 55,000, obviously where you're living in that particular place, you have obviously to rent the place, assuming if you're not being given anything. And if you're being given, good unto you. If you're actually being given food, well and good. If you are not, then remember that 55,000, you're supposed to actually go ahead and do what? Rely on it as far as the feeding yourself is actually concerned, and also sustaining yourself, other personal effects and what have you. Now, let's say after you do all the deductions, perhaps let's say you actually remain with 30,000 out of that. That 30,000, how long then do you need for you to achieve that. If you multiply this by 10 months, you have yourself 300,000. So let's say approximately 1 year in that particular place, you have recouped back your 350,000. If you go there, commit yourself. And it depends again with the contract that you're signing. If you're signing a contract of 2 years, just know the very first year, you're getting back your 350,000 that you used. But remember, it's not really 300,000. It is actually 500 because the 150,000, you actually went with it to sustain yourself. So again, you need a couple of other months for you to get back your money. Let's say you need another 5 months on top of this. Let's say in a period of 1.5 years, you get back your 500,000 that you had back in Kenya. If you were to take a bus, well, not really a bus per se. If you were to take a flight back home, then you go back with the 500,000. So you remain at the status quo. The only thing that you've gained is that you're actually outside the country. Maybe you come with an experience. But the point is, you're actually surrendering this 500 that you have up front for you to get more. Therefore, going back home with 500, it's not the aim. It is actually going more with it. Now, remember, maybe you signed a contract of 2 years. There you are at 1.5 years. You have yourself the 500 with you. I'm assuming that you are the most disciplined individual we can ever have. Now you have one for your 500,000 back. Now, the question is, you're remaining with 5 months. The 5 months multiplied by 30, that's the amount that you're saving, 1,000. You have yourself 150,000 that you have actually saved. Plus that amount of money that you have, which is 500, that is 650,000. But I don't want you to view it from point of 650,000. I want you to see it from the point of 150,000. It has taken you 2 years to make 150,000 out of your 500,000 that you actually used to go to this particular place. Maybe at that particular place you'll be like, I don't think this is what I actually assigned for. I needed quite over a presentable amount of money. So let me go back, assign another contract for 2 years for me to actually do what? Get a good cash. For another 2 years, guess what happened now? After 1.5 years, we all agree that you're going to have yourself a what? A 500. After the 2 years, you have yourself what we call the 650,000. So you're gonna get the 650,000. So now the point is, you have 150,000 plus the 650,000 that you're gonna get in the second 2 years. So 650 plus 150 is 800,000. You have been in that particular place for 4 years to make 850,000. I know you will call it 1.3 million, but remember the 500, if you never went anywhere, you still have it. So don't count it. You're counting the 850,000. So you've spent 4 years, you come back home with 850,000. So according to you and according to the goal that you have, the target that you have, is it a worthy thing to do to get that money, go to that particular place? Or let's go to option 2. Option 2, that is now you starting your own business here in Kenya. You have your 500,000 and you decide, you know what, I ain't gonna pay nobodies to take me nowhere. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my 500,000 and start myself a business. Okay. Now, before you start that business, obviously there are some factors that honestly we have to consider. You aren't sure about this engagement. First of all, the first thing that you need to ask yourself, yes, I want to start a business. What do I have the experience of? And by the way, from the word go, where did you get this amount of money? Oh, I was employed. Okay. Where were you employed? Oh, I was selling clothes. Oh, okay. So that means you know something about the clothing, right? Okay, I was employed in a hotel in whatever the thing is. Oh, okay, I was employed in an IT company. Oh, so meaning that you already know some 1 or 2, 3 things. You know, probably you have some clientele and what have you. So you know some things about the IT. Okay. Oh, I was employed somewhere in you get what I'm saying? So before you even start any business, you ask yourself, because businesses are started by 4 or with 4 reasons. You only have 4 reasons to start a business. A, you start something about that you're passionate about it. Okay? You're passionate about it. This is where most of the people tend to lie on. You start a business that you're passionate. But I'm going to tell you something about passion. 2, you start something that you have an experience about. You have ever been employed somewhere? You have ever been employed in a clothing industry, production industry, a hotel, you've been employed. You get what I'm saying? You have an experience. 3, you start a business that you're an expert. You studied. You studied something in the university or in college or whatever the thing, you have an expert on that thing. And D, you're doing something that is actually trending. Or should I use the term, it's actually selling. All right? So the issue is this, most of the people dwell on the passion. But you can be passionate about something that does not make you money. Oh, I'm passionate about selling cereals, but you're coming where you're located, you are surrounded by farmers, so nobody will buy your cereals because everyone has theirs, okay? So you pick a thing that, yes, you know you're passionate about it, but go beyond that and ask yourself, will it sell? Okay, now you have this 500,000. I'm assuming, let's say you do this. This 500,000, obviously, business is when we deal with what we call a what? The high risk, and of course what you call the high returns. But you don't want to subject all this money into a risk. So what do? You divide it, of which is the best important thing that you can ever do. First of all, is to create a layer of, you create a layer of what? A layer of, should I say? A layer of protection. A layer of protection. What do I mean by the layer of protection? Is a layer that is actually, just anything happens, you have a soft landing. What does it mean? You don't subject all this money into a business. You can divide it. 500, you divide it into two, whereby, not really into equal halves. No, you can decide I'm going to start a business with 300K, then the 200K, I'm going to throw it into an emergency fund, maybe in an MMF, okay? Yeah, I know you're about to crucify me. I've spoken about this MMF. I'm telling you, as far as I've been making videos, MMF will never get out of my mouth, okay? So you throw the 200 Gs into an MMF. One thing, MMF pays you monthly. Your money is liquid. You can access at any given time. Number two, it offers you what we call the capital preservation. You're almost 100% sure that your money is safe and secure. You get what I'm saying? Now, the 300, now you get into it. Why? At the back of your head, you know, I've created a layer of protection. Just in case something in this business, I'm good to go. I have 200 with me somewhere. Just in case this business also picks up and actually requires more money, I have somewhere where I can get the money. And then you get yourself into a business that, let's say maybe probably you aim to get approximately a profit of, we have a one principle in business where we say a business should give you 1% returns per day of the initial capital that you used. 1% of 500,000, that's like 5,000 per day. But let's be realistic. How applicable is that? Let's even say you're only getting 0.5% per day returns out of the principal you use. That should be around 2,500. Let's say that's what you get as a profit or something of sort. Let's even say out of this 2,500, only 1,800, or let's say 1,500 is what you manage to save. 1,500, the other 1,000, let's say you throw it into the operational costs, maybe water, electricity, license, and whatever, because you're subdividing it per day. So let's say this business is making you 2,500 in a day. You invested 300,000, you're getting 2,500, but out of that, only 1,500 is what you can channel towards savings. So that 1,500 Kenyan shillings is giving you 1,000, or rather 1,500 shilling is giving you 45,000. I'm assuming you're operating full course. It's giving you 45,000, rather 45,000 per month. It is short 10,000 compared to an individual who went for the what? For the agency way. Now, I know there are some conditions that you might be, hey Joseph, what if you start a business and it fails? There are those possibilities. I cannot wrap them and I tell you it cannot happen. It can happen. That's a possibility. But you see, we don't really operate on that. What we do, we use what we call the calculated risks for us to take an action. Again, first of all, subject yourself to what we call self-identification. Who is you? Are you a risk-averted individual? Do you think you really need the business? Why are you going to that particular place? Are you in good time, assuming that all went well or goes well for the next 4 years? Are you able to go ahead and make that 850,000 and come back home? Why are you going there? You get what I'm saying? Because for me, yeah, I know I may be a little bit biased on this because I am a risk taker, but depends with you. So that's why I always say, whatever I share here, it's my own personal views. And at all the time, make sure that you do your own diligence. Make sure that you do your own research. And if it's possible, go to the extra mile of contacting your financial advisor to get the appropriate discussion. What I do here is just to open your mind, just to be a little bit creative, have different options and alternatives so that you can be able to compare and contrast. By the time now you're picking alternative A, you already know I'm picking this because I'm going to get this and that. We together up to that particular point. Okay, now see, when you go the business way, I know it's attributed with risk. You have to give your business a little bit of time, breathability, a balance of let's say 3 months, 4 months, or something of sort. You're aiming to getting back your break even, and of course, those are some of the disadvantages of the business. The advantages of the business is this: one thing, you're still back at home, you're closer to your families. Number 3, businesses have high chances of growing and actually making more than what you're making when you're starting up. Number 4, there are some other overheads like You get what I'm saying? So it is good when you compare and contrast and such kind of a thing. And probably this video should have actually made it and compared to, of which that one I will make. But nah, I wouldn't make that one because it might be a bit controversial, but it is what it is. But I'm gonna tell you on one of the videos what was that I was about to say. Anyway, now the point is this. So now ask yourself, if I go the business way or I go the commission way, what am I gaining? Because remember one thing, in the world of finance, please, 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 at all the time, make sure that you're getting the best deal in town. All right, so that at least you can get value not only from your money but also the time that you're going to commit yourself doing that specific thing. And that is the thing that I love doing most. So anyway, the point is, I'm not here to squeeze something for you, but I'm not here also to sort of tell you don't. No, I'm here to actually open your mind and try to think and ask yourself, where can you channel? I understand right now people are complaining, oh, businesses, but let me tell you one secret. When you ever listen to people, you're never gonna do anything. They say businesses are not doing okay, but they're not closing. You see people are importing each and every day. Go to KPA, the Kenyan Port Authority, you just see the number of the containers are coming in. So sometimes it's good to, understand what you're getting yourself into. By the way, do you know that video that I made and I said, you know what, if you're getting 7,000 USD in the US compared to 2,000 in Kenya, where will you go? Probably marries the same kind of a reasoning or something of sort. Let me see, what is your thought on this? This is Good Joseph speaking as always. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that subscription button. Subscribe, or rather like the video. Comment on the comment section. For now, it's goodbye and see you in the next one.